Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about how I've grown my 401k to $66,000. I started my 401k journey about 4 years ago, but consciously really started contributing to my 401k back in January of 2024. And I'll give a little bit of backstory on my journey, how 401ks work, and kind of my plans and goals for this year. So, in January 2024, I started making a conscious effort to contribute to my 401k. At the time, I was talking to a colleague at work. We're talking a little bit about investments, and they asked me if I was contributing to my 401k. This was in January 2024. I wrote them off, told them, hey, I don't, really believe in 401ks. A lot of the information that I've heard is that it's not a really good retirement account, etc., etc. They asked me, have I seen how much I have in my account? And at the time, I didn't know I had an account. My company, they sponsor the 401k through Fidelity. Um, Through that conversation, I did a little bit of research, found out that I had an account, and didn't realize that I had $10,000 in my 401k. I didn't know I was contributing at all. And so when I did a little bit of digging, I found out that my company, even though I didn't select to get into my 401k within the first 30 days, they defaulted to auto enrolling me in a 401k plan, which I'm really grateful for because for the first 2 years, I hadn't known that I was really contributing to my 401k, but I had accumulated about $10,000. I joined the company in July of 2022, and all the way up until January 2024, I had $10,000 already invested in my 401k. This kind of like journey like led me to start researching what a 401k was, and one of the things that I think really made me interested in starting to put a conscious effort in contributing to a 401k was this idea that the money is tax deferred, right? And so when you contribute to a 401k, it lowers your current taxable income. It's tax deferred, meaning that when I'm in retirement, I will pay taxes on the money that I withdraw. But right now, if I want to save a little bit of money on taxes and lower my taxable bill, I can do so by contributing to my 401k. And the more money I contribute to my 401k, the more money is deducted from my total earned income for the year. For me, being somebody that makes over $100,000 a year, working at a tech company in the Bay Area, I am looking for as many ways and as many investment vehicles to be able to lower my tax bill. So this is something that really made me interested in starting to contribute to my 401k. Now, in the year of January 2024, after I kind of did some, research, had this conversation with this colleague at work around 401ks, I made a conscious plan to start contributing as much money as I could. I think I ranged anywhere from 10 to 15% throughout the year. At the time, I was only contributing about 3% to the 401k, and that was already automatically like set. But I increased those contributions to 10 to 15%, and I was able to grow my account pretty sizable within the first year. Last year in 2025, that's when I really kicked it up. And the plan I had set out was this is going to be the first year for me to max out contributions to my 401k. So the max out limit is 20. What last year was 23,500, and I was able to do that. I was able to invest $23,500 into my 401k, and this did not include the 100% up to 4.5% company match that my company provides me. So it wasn't just 23,500 that I invested. I also got some additional money from my company on top of what I contributed. And so, you know, it was a really good year last year when it came to investing in my 401k, and I think my portfolio was somewhere in the like $30,000 range at the beginning of 2025. And right now I'm looking at about $66,000 in my 401k and within the first 2 months of 2026. Now, not all of that was from contributions. There was some good gains that I was able to receive by having some money invested in the market, in addition to the company match that I was able to get. But my portfolio grew pretty significant, I would say. So from January of 2024 to currently where I'm at right now at $66,000, that's about $56,000 additional money I've been able to get within a 2 year span into my 401k. Now my plan this year is I want to increase my 401k to close to $100,000. That's the goal. Um, I want to contribute the max again this year, and I already have it auto set for contributions for that. I plan to invest 24,500, which is the new contribution limit for 2026, and with hopefully a favorable market where there's some increase in gains, and in addition to the company match that I'm hoping to continue to receive and will continue to get, I'm hoping that my portfolio reaches close to a balance of $100,000, if not $100,000, by the end of this year, going into 2027. Currently, I'm 28. My goal is to have $100,000 portfolio by the time I'm 30. I don't turn 30 until September of next year, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to hit that goal. But it'd be nice to be able to finish that with this year, because I believe if I can get $100,000 into my 401k before by the age of 30, I'm going to have a very comfortable retirement, because even if I don't contribute anything else to my 401k for the next 35 years, there's a really good chance with favorable market returns for 35 years with $100,000 invested, I'm going to have a comfortable retirement. But obviously, I'll continue to invest a little bit more. Um, but yeah, that's kind of been like my journey. It's been about a 2 year journey, and I've taken my portfolio from $10,000 in January 2024 all the way to 66,000. Now, some of the things that I've kind of had to experience when I first started contributing to my 401k um, was there's definitely an adjustment period in being okay with receiving less on my paychecks. Um, Before investing in my 401k, you'd see a lot more money take home on my paychecks. And I kind of adjusted my lifestyle to be able to budget for that increase in that increased amount and like the money that I was receiving. But when I started to increase my 401k, I started to see less and less on my paychecks. And there's definitely some sacrifice that came to it. There's definitely some adjustments that I had to make, but you get used to it, right? So that's why in 2024, I didn't start with just maxing out my 401k. Definitely wouldn't recommend that for anybody that's just jumping into a 401k. I think finding a healthy percentage that can get you kind of some more money on the board, more in the account, is important. But I think it's something that you can kind of play with, right? Maybe for somebody, you might be at 0%, you get to 3%, or maybe you're at 3%, you get to 6%, or maybe you're at 6%, you get to 10%, however it is. And then you just increase slightly, see how your paychecks are, see if this is something that you can kind of like live on, and then make adjustments on a month to month, year to year kind of like basis. And that's what I've done. But now I've adjusted really well, and I'm able to afford, to invest 24,500 this year into my 401k. It's definitely an aggressive savings rate. Again, I'm in a pretty fortunate situation where I'm employed, have a really good employer, not really concerned about layoffs, at least at the company that I work at in the role that I hold. And I'm trying to take advantage of that to invest as much money as I possibly can into my retirement accounts, so that I can set up the next chapter of my life to be a little bit more comfortable. Maybe I can peel back or dial back a little bit more on my savings rate as I age out and get a little bit older. But right now, in the short term, and when I say short term, the next 3 to 5 years, I want to get as much money as I possibly can into my 401k. Now, my previous video, I talked about how, I've been investing $50 a day into Bitcoin. I'm continuing to do that. That's also part of, kind of like retirement and long-term investment strategy. The 401k is my main driver for retirement. It's the largest account that I have when it comes to money invested. And I like it because it's something that I can't touch. It's not something that I can sell without, penalties. You can withdraw money or take loans against it, stuff that I wouldn't advise. But really, the money's locked up. And this is the idea for this is that my future self is going to thank my present self for the sacrifice and the discipline that I had when it came to putting money away. So that's kind of been my journey. It's definitely been something that's requires like discipline, and it's taught me kind of like a lot. I feel really confident now when it comes to my retirement, because these last 2 years I've really been grinding it out and making sure that I put as much money away as possible into this investment vehicle. I do have other accounts as well when it comes to investing. Right now I'm in a very aggressive investing phase in my life. I said I have some money in crypto. I also have an HSA account, which I'm going to talk about in a future video. I also have a good amount of money in a taxable brokerage account as well. So yeah, I mean, investing is definitely the season that I'm at right now. And again, my main goal right now in this season of my life is to just be wise with the money that I have. I know a lot of people, the job market's tough. A lot of people are struggling to find work. It's been very difficult for people in today's economy. And for me, being in a fortunate position, I feel like it would be a waste if I wasn't being wise with the money that I have, if I wasn't being a good money manager, if I wasn't taking advantage of the opportunity that I have right now, which is why I'm trying to put as much money as way as possible because tomorrow's never promised. In a couple years, I could be laid off, my position could be eliminated, and then I'm stressed about finding work as well as the stress of how am I gonna have money to be able to retire later or take care of myself at a later like age. So I think everything is about planning for the next season in your life. And in this season of my life, it's really about instilling like the habits of investing, being disciplined, saving, being wise with the money, still enjoying like the money. But I'm definitely at a space right now where I don't have a ton of responsibilities where contributing 24,500 for this year into my 401k is definitely doable. And I'm pretty confident in the next 5 to 7 years, 10 years, I'm going to look back at this and be really proud of the decision I made. So if you guys have questions on a 401k, how it works, more things on that, how to kind of get started, definitely drop some comments. Or definitely drop some comments. I'm definitely could respond, can answer any questions that people have. Because the 401k, again, I think is a really good vehicle and investment strategy.